Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for clicking this video and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Alright, today we will discuss about the impact of COVID-19 on the global supply chains of food and food safety and the pharmaceutical industry. This video prepared by 5th semester student class A International Business Management Study Program. And this is about our team. Let me introduce myself. My name is Indah Dewi Rahayu. And this is about our discussion. We describe these materials based on the two journals. And we start from the first topic, the impact of COVID-19 on global supply chains in the food and food security. The global pandemic COVID-19 has raised concerns over food security around the world, especially Indonesia due to disruptions to production and supply chains. In Indonesia, with increasing number of cases and deaths due to the spread of COVID-19, the government has also adopted a policy of restricting the movement of the people by setting the physical distance regulated in PP of 2020 number 21 concerning handling COVID-19 to prevent the spread of the coronavirus outbreak. Supply chains constraints related to the disruptions of foodstuff, closing borders, and imposing restrictions on mass movement have resulted in a reduction in productive workforce in the agricultural sector, which ultimately leads to a waste of food crop commodities. Agriculture is an activity of utilizing biological sources by humans to produce food, energy sources, industrial raw materials, and environment management. And what will happen with agriculture? If agriculture experiences obstacles, it will have an impact on food supply chains access for the community. Given the constraints on access to the food supply chain, the government is obligated to have a way out to ensure adequate food supply. The agricultural sector will survive actively and productively if the condition of farmers is healthy, welfare is guaranteed, and there is a significant change from just food security to food sovereignty independence. Next to the next slide, about another impact of COVID-19. On the other hand, the outbreak of infectious disease due to the coronavirus doesn't only limit the space for movement, but also has an impact on conditions of the exchange rate and decrease in income, so that there will be potential barriers to access the supply chains. Rescue supply chains and food security require appropriate communication strategies establishing cooperation to create food price stability and food distribution goes well. For the next topics will be discussed with my partner Indah Prastari.
Hello everyone, my name is Prastari Sarragika, and now I would like to continue the presentation. So, there are several things that need the government attention regarding policy limiting movement during the COVID-19 pandemic. They are, the first is ensure that the food production conditions are at a safe level, especially in the food supply chains. Food can reach or remote areas regions. The second is develop food self-sufficiency in the country and do not depend on purchased food export. The third is price stability. We need to be maintained and market price monitoring needs to be done in a scheduled and consistent manner. And to ensure food ability during the pandemic and post-pandemic with relative stable food, that the things the government already done is collaborative efforts were made between the government and the private sector. It's to help the resident who lost their jobs and KPR assistance, as well as increase child care and food allowance to supply chain distribute for the aid. So the next topic will be continued by my friends. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Adinda. I will continue the next presentation that is about the impact of COVID-19 on global supply chain in pharmaceutical industry. Outbreak of pandemic COVID-19 affect the world in global scenario times are short. So many sectors that could harm as a result of outbreak of this. The impact of this outbreak is so massive that it can paralyze global economic activities in various business sectors. So, how was it happen? Indonesia is predicted to experience a decrease in domestic product, or as known as PDB, of 0.2% from 2019. One of the operational activities in the food sector that was affected by this outbreak is supply chain activities. The supply chain is a series of systems consisting of organization, personnel, activities, information, and all kinds of other resources related to the activities of supplying product to customers. So activities in global supply chain cannot be avoided from the risk of disruption. Disruption that occur in supply chain, first, fluctuation in demand and change in lead time are common operational disruption of supply chain. The transportation network, which causes delay in distribution of goods to scarcity of goods. And the third is broken supply chain cause a decline in company performance, resulting in decreased revenues. Sector pharmaceutical become one of the effective in the claims because the flow of supply chain hampered since the impulsion of resisting on the activities, as known as PSBB. In various regions, the concern indicates that the pharmaceutical industry is not fully prepared to face the COVID-19 outbreaks, such as first, companies that do not have alternative resources of raw material. And second, do not carry out careful planning regarding supplier or stock status. And the last is do not have flexible logistic flow. The next presentation will be continued by my friend.
Okay, thanks for the time. My name is Rahayu dari Puspadewi. I'm selected. Now I would like to continue the presentation by explaining the pharmaceutical industry strategy to face the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. So the COVID-19 outbreak tests the readiness and maturity of the pharmaceutical industry supply chain system. To maintain the smooth flow of the supply chain in order to deal with the COVID-19 outbreak, strategies that can be carried out by the pharmaceutical industry can be categorized into three aspects of supply chain management. The first one is inventory management, number two is information management, and the last one is corporate financial management. In the pharmaceutical industry, inventory management is the main key in supply chain management during this pandemic. One of the methods that can be used in testing the level of inventory is the simulation method, namely the Monte Carlo simulation method. And then one of the supply chain simulation analysis studies due to COVID-19 by Ivanov using the any logistics software shows that the length of time for closure of facilities used in the supply chain and the increasing number of cases of the COVID-19 outbreak are the main factors that cause the company's supply chain operational performance to decline. To overcome this, the company must have several sourcing distribution facilities in different locations in order to minimize the risk of supply disruption. Then another essential step that the industry can take in response to COVID-19 is managing information. This can be starting by checking and digging up the latest information at any time related the latest situation development and communicating continuously with internal and external parties. The pharmaceutical industry, as an agency engaged in the business sector, cannot be separated from financial factors as supporting operational activities. Effort that can be made by financial perspective include natural hedging, which is a financial management strategy to balance income and expenditure and to reduce financial risks such as currency exchange rate. For example, a number of domestic pharmaceutical companies, such as Indopharma, have started to build the export of drugs to increase revenue in an effort to overcome fluctuation in drug raw material prices due to the coronavirus outbreak. The conclusion is the government must pay attention to policies to limit movement during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure that food production is at the safe level, especially in the food supply chain can reach remote areas, develop domestic food self-sufficiency, and doesn't depend on the purchase of food export, then price stability needs to be maintained and continues to monitor development in the situation in the field and carefully review plans and action related to the dynamic situation every day. Okay, that's all our presentation. Thank you. See you next time.